Okay, students. Random variable. Random variable is an important aspect in probability. Okay. Now, what is random variable? What are the uses of random variables? Applications of random variables. How to use a random variable? We are going to learn about them. Okay. Definition. What is random variable? A random variable x on a sample space S is a function from S into the set capital R of real numbers such that the pre-image of every element of R is an event of S. Okay, that is the random variable. Therefore, random variable is a function. Okay, mapping S to R. Okay, R consists of real numbers. Okay, S consists of events. Therefore, premise of an element of R is nothing but an event of sample space. Okay, now discrete random variable, continuous random variable. There are two types of random variables. One of them is discrete random variable, another one is continuous random variable. Discrete random variable, a random variable which can take on only a finite number is called a discrete random variable. Okay, a random variable which can take only a finite number is called a discrete random variable. Finite numbers is called a discrete random variable. Okay, continuous random variable, a random variable capital X is said to be a continuous if it can take all possible values in an interval. Okay, now for example, if we choose an interval, how many elements are there in an interval? There are infinite number of elements in an interval. Okay, a continuous random variable will take all that values. Okay, that is continuous random variable. But discrete random variable will only consider a few finite numbers. For example for discrete random variable. Okay, for example, we are performing a random experiment, that is we are tossing a single coin, or we are tossing two coins. If we toss two coins, then possible outcomes are HH or HT or TH or TT. Okay, where H is head, T is tail. Okay, therefore sample space consists of four elements. Those are HH, HT, TH, TT. Okay, these are the possible outcomes when we are tossing two coins. Now, probability of HH is 1 by 4. Probability of individual outcomes. So probability of HT is 1 by 4. Probability of TH is 1 by 4. Probability of TT is 1 by 4. Let us define a random variable x as number of heads. X is number of heads. Here random variable is defined as number of heads. Number of heads. X is number of heads. X is called a random variable. Here x is equal to 0, 1, 2. Okay, x equals to 0, 1, 2. Means here probability of for example, when x is equal to 0, 0 means number of heads are 0. Number of heads is 0. Okay, in this outcomes, in which output there are number of elements as 0. In the first outcome there are 2 heads. In the second outcome 1 head. In the third outcome there is 1 head. But in the fourth outcome there are no heads. Therefore, this is the favorable case for x is equal to 0. X equals to 0 number of heads. Therefore, for this we have to find out the probability. For this individual outcome, probability is 1 by 4. 1 by 4. Therefore, when x equals to 0, probability of x is 1 by 4. Now, when x is equal to 1, okay, 1 is x is equal to 1 is an event in the sample space. Okay, this event is defined as getting an event of getting one head, okay. In this event, how many elements will come? In first outcome there are 2 heads, therefore it is not favorable case for the second event, that is x is equal to 1 event. In the second outcome and third outcome there are only a single head in each outcome. In the first in this outcome there is only a single head, in this outcome also there is only single head. Okay, these two are favorable cases for the event. Okay, here event is x is equal to 1, and in the last case there are no heads, so therefore these two are only two favorable cases for getting a single head. X is equal to 1 means, and it is an event defined as event of getting a single head. For this event we have to find out the probability. Okay, here getting single heads, those are HT and TH. Probability of HT and TH is equal to 1 by 2, because number of favorable cases is 2 by number of favorable cases is 2, number of exhaustive cases are 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore 2 by 4, that is 1 by 2. Therefore, for the probability for getting a single head, probability is 1 by 2. Now next event, there are three events. First one is x equals to 0 event, second one is x is equal to 1 head event, third one is x is equal to 2 event, that is the event of getting 2 heads. For this event of getting 2 heads, what are the favorable cases in these 4 outcomes? Only first one is the favorable case, because there are 2 heads in this outcome. In the remaining cases there exist only one head or no heads. Therefore first one is the only favorable case. Therefore for this we have to find out the probability. Probability of HH, probability of 2 heads is 1 by 4. Therefore the probability for getting 2 heads, probability is 1 by 4. Therefore for getting no heads, probability is 1 by 4. An event for getting, probability of an event of getting 1 head is 1 by 2. Probability of an event for getting 2 heads, probability is 1 by 4. Okay, therefore in this way there are 3 events in the sample space. For each event, the probability of this event is 1 by 4, the probability of this event is 1 by 2, the probability of an event is this one. Therefore these are the elements in the pre-image, these are the elements in domain, these are elements in codomain, these are elements in the sample space, these are elements in codomain, these are elements in real numbers, 1 by 4, 1 by 2, 1 by 4, these are real numbers. Therefore in this way x is a random variable which defines on as to real numbers. Okay, for each event there is a real number, okay. In this way x is called random variable. Sometimes it may be number of heads, sometimes may be defined is in other way. Okay, but we can also notice that there are only finite number of elements in the sample space, only 3 numbers, 0, 1, 2. Okay, that is why in discrete random variable, it will take only a finite number of elements. You know, there are so many numbers between 1 and 2, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.66, 1.7, 1.8, 1.88, 1.99. So many elements are there between 1 and 2, but x does not takes that those values. X only takes a finite number of elements, 0, 1, 2. But in case of continuous random variable, we have to consider an interval. For that interval, we will find out the probability. That is, we must take every value between 1 and 2, and between 0 and 1, 0.5, 0, 0.6, 0.7. Simply every element in the interval 0 to 2. That is continuous random, in continuous random variable. Therefore, in continuous random variable, we will consider each element in the sample space, every element in a line, every point in a line, that line from 0 to 2. Okay, but in discrete random variable, we will consider a certain number of elements, a finite number of elements, maybe 1, 2, 3, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Okay, that is discrete random variable. Now let us start with continuous random variable. Okay, example for continuous random variable and problems for continuous random variable. Now continuous random variable. Okay, in continuous random variable, probability density function is very important. What is probability density function? Okay, probability density function, PDF, simply called as PDF, of the random variable capital X is defined as f suffix x of x, or simply f of x. We can write down in any way. F of x is equal to limit lambda x tends to 0, probability whenever x is less than or equal to capital X random variable is less than or equal to x plus lambda x. It is nothing but an interval, probability of that interval by delta x. Okay, probability density function is defined as such like this. Okay, we will require to find out the probability of an interval in continuous random variable. Generally, we will require as to find out the probability of a certain interval probability. Okay, to find out this value, we have to integrate on both sides. Actually, this is derivative. If we remove this derivative, automatically we will get an integration on this side within limits a to b, within certain limits, that is a to b, or 1 to 2, or 3 to 1, such like. Okay, therefore this is probability density function. Okay, now the probability for a variate value to lie in the interval delta x is f of x delta x. Okay, and hence the probability for a variate value to fall in the finite interval a b is probability of a less than or equal to x less than or equal to b is equal to integral within limits a to b f of x dx. This is the formula to find out a probability in the certain interval a comma b. Okay, very important formula in continuous random variable. Okay, this is the diagram. Actually, it is an area. It is the area of certain region. Okay, in this graph we can see in x-axis there are points are x. For example, this is x, small x. Okay, image of x is f of x. Okay, delta x is the height. Therefore, this is f of x delta x, f of x delta x. This y is equal to f of x curve. This region this is the area, this is the area in between x minus delta x by 2, x plus delta x by 2. Okay, okay. We may ask the probability between A and B. Then we have to find out the total area. The total area becomes the required probability between A and B. A and B. Okay. For example, if we want to find out the probability at some points T1 and T2, this is the area, this is some area. Okay. If we want to find out the probability between 2 points, for example here T3, T4, okay, you can observe that this probability is greater than this probability because this area is greater than this area. And also we can observe that in the middle portion there is much probability, there is much area. For example, if we ask from this point to this point, area is very bigger than these two areas. Sometimes we may ask all the area. Okay, here also total probability, total area is always equals to 1. Total probability is always equals to 1. There are certain properties for the probability density function. First property is f of x is greater than or equal to 0. F of x greater than or equal to 0, because we must have a non-negative integration. Area is always non-negative, therefore f of x must be greater than or equal to 0. First property. Second property, total probability is always equals to 1. Okay, total area is 1. Okay, now if capital E is an event, in event the probability of that event P of E is given by P of E is equal to integral over that interval E f of x dx. Okay, for example, if capital E is an impossible event, then probability of E is 0. Okay, if E is an impossible event, that is it never happened, then P of E is equal to 0. P of E is equal to 0.